Hello, friends, and welcome to another Cotopaxi conversation. Our last conversation, we visited the makerspace where there was a lot of creativity and design. And today we're visiting another example of innovation here at Academy of Cotopaxi, and that is our robotics program. And I'm really privileged today to have with us Paula from 8th grade and Miss Hoskins, her robotics teacher. And we're going to talk about the robotics program. You've been doing this now for 2 semesters?
Yes.
What can you tell us about the big takeaways? What have you learned most from having this experience?
From doing robotics, I've learned really to persevere and just keep trying. And if something doesn't work, find another way, because if you're thinking of doing a program one way and then there's another easier way that you can avoid less problems, that will definitely help you. You just need to be really open-minded.
Okay, so you mentioned problems. Could you just briefly explain to us what a typical problem would be when you design a robot?
Typical problem would be the robot is turning the wrong way or not turning enough. Usually that depends on the program, but once you check the program, what we do is check our ports, so make sure all the cables are connected to the right places. And then we also have to check the robot is how it's supposed to be, nothing is loose. So it needs to be everything in the right condition so that you can see what the real problem is.
So now does this robot come out of a box already made?
No, we get the Legos, and then online there can be some instructions, but it really depends. In advanced robotics, we decided to create our robot with the knowledge we had by creating robots in our other robotics class, and then we just use that and combine that into something that worked for what we wanted to do.
Okay, so then what kind of skills are you talking about? You're using computers?
Yes.
What other skills are you using?
We're using lots of math because we have these blocks that are called my blocks. So we just add the number of centimeters the robot wants to go and the degrees that we want it to turn, and then see how that works. But we usually have to change it and troubleshoot with it until it does it perfectly. And we also use engineering because the robot design is really important so that it works well and it's not having trouble.
That's wonderful. And Ms. Hoskins, what do you see from the power of this as an educator when you're working with the students and they're involved in robotics?
Well, they are constantly problem solving in this class. Like she was saying, things don't work ever the first time, so they're having to go back. But one of the powerful things about it is they have immediate feedback. So they program the robot, they try it, they see what's wrong, and they go back and they can then try to fix it or come up with a new plan. Mm-hmm. Another thing I see is collaboration. They get ideas from each other a lot. They all have different ways of looking at it, and they have to learn how to communicate, which is not easy in middle school. So they have to be very good communicators. They have to not just communicate it, but what they think it should be, but they have to listen to what the other ideas are for the other students. And they also have to work together on the programming. So there's a lot of very specific math talk going on about rotations and degrees and weight, and having to figure out how can you make the arm stronger to lift something that's heavier. So all of the things you want in a classroom. The students are engaged all of the time. They are excited. They get to show off to other people in a competition or in a battle bot, so they get to also perform what they have learned for other people.
And it's a real team effort. I know from my experience watching robotics competition, it's as exciting as watching volleyball or basketball, how the team is just cheering on their little robot. Does your robot have a name?
Not really, because we just changed it. Each of the robots has their name, but this one is just the team's robot.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I would really encourage our parents and our students to look into robotics. It's just another example of the innovative approach to education that we are obliged to do in this day and age when technology is moving so fast and so much forward, and our students are really at the cutting edge of this. They're doing things that we as adults probably have never imagined doing ourselves, building robots. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Thank you.
Thank you.